Hey everybody, so I'm back in the group and I just wanted to talk to you. It seems like ages since we had a challenge, and I know I came in, it seems like such a long time ago. It was around Easter, just before Easter I think it was, and we did a challenge, and so I was thinking it's about time that I offered another one. And for anybody that kind of has been with me on other challenges, it's just a way of me trying to help and do something different and offer some help within the group that you can be involved in to try and sort of like make some differences, some changes in your life, that just kind of gradual changes. Now, as you know, or hopefully you know by now, the one thing that changed my life was EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, or tapping as it's otherwise known. And that completely changed my whole world and, allows me to kind of be free, as it were, today. And so I'm very keen on kind of sharing that with others, because I think it's such a simple tool that is so powerful and can help so well that, and I'm amazed by it all the time. I'm amazed at how well it works with myself, because I still, to this day, and I had a session with somebody for myself the other day, because, there's always things that happen, there's always stress in our lives, we can't prevent it. But I know now that I have a tool that helps me deal with that stuff, and so I deal with it and I'm absolutely good to go again. And so, as I said, I'm always keen to share this, but so my idea was that I kind of there's a few people and a few new people in the group at the moment, and what I thought is maybe if people email me and kind of just give me a kind of like a guideline of their struggles, what they're struggling with right now, particular struggles, and then maybe I can kind of like direct a few tap-in sessions. I've done this before, and there's kind of like videos in this group where I did tap-in sessions on kind of like dealing with certain things. So I thought about having another couple, either a great big one or a few little ones, that I could come into the group and do a bit of a tap-in session with you, so you can follow along with it and see how that goes. Just to kind of like introduce something different to you if you haven't kind of heard of it before. So that was kind of like my initial idea. But as always, this is a group, and I'm here to help in any way that I can. And so if you have any other ideas, any other things that you think might help you, then I'm always open to listening to those. And yeah, so just let me know. If you have any comments you want to sort of let me know about, put them in this thread. I'll be, or if you want to email me them through, then that would be good. But have a think about it. Let me know what would be useful to you. Yeah. So just do let me know. I'm not sure whether there's somebody online. It's I think there is, but it doesn't tell me on who it is. So if you are with me, welcome. If you have any questions for me right now, just put them in the comments box. But the thing is that what I do want to say to you is, if you're in, I know the struggles that you have daily, about various different things, but the one thing I'd say is don't beat yourself up about it. We put this overwhelming pressure on ourselves to be, perfect, and, sort of like have to stay in control, and everything has to be great, and we have to kind of like show that we're doing great to everybody, and I know that, but just try and be kind to yourself. Just sort of like try and just give yourself a break. Treat yourself as if you would your best friend, or, somebody that you really care for, because you would not treat yourself the way that you do, if you were your best friend. You just wouldn't. We seem to sort of, just kind of take on so much sort of like self-hate and criticism and, beating ourselves up and things like that. But we wouldn't do that to anybody else. But we think it's perfectly acceptable to us. So it's whether you're just sort of like trying to get this through this morning, whether you're trying to get through today, whether you're trying to get through this, to the end of the week. Just try and be kind to yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Stop kind of having a go at yourself if you sort of like, if things don't work out as you kind of wanted them to be. But ultimately know that until you are ready to accept that, what's happening for you right now is not working, and you're ready to accept that maybe, you need to try to do something different. Maybe it's that it's that acceptance that you can't do it by yourself, or, you need to try something different. Until you get to that stage, nothing is likely to change for you. Something has to change. In order to make a change and to sort of like be able to see different results, we have to do something different. It's like that whole, if you want to call it from like maths and science and stuff like that, if you want a different output, you have to kind of put a different input into it. And I know that I'm saying it's like it's the easiest thing in the world, and I know that. I know, believe me, I know it's not easy, and I make it sound like it's so, I just decide to do this and everything's all right. And I know that it's not the case. I know that it's a hard decision to make, but almost you kind of like, you have to almost get there. And it doesn't have to be sort of like that you're fully convinced that this is right for you, or you're fully convinced and totally kind of like committed behind it and stuff. You just need to take a step in a different direction, and kind of like, and just try that for a while and see how that goes. Don't just jump back, just sort of like be committed to that one thing just for a little bit, just to try it out, just to see how it feels. And if you need to kind of like step to the side, just to have a pause, a break and a reflect, and, then that's okay too. But the thing is to not beat yourself up about it. You can try things. See if they work for you. And if they don't, then that's okay, because do you know what? At least you're trying something different, And that actually, be proud of yourself, because it's bloody hard to try something different. It's not easy. Where you are now, getting out is not easy. And you know what? You don't have a clue about whether you can get there. You might not have a clue about how to get there. But the fact that you're trying, total respect for that. Absolute total respect, because it's not easy. And I just, I feel I'm welling up here now, because I know how hard it is. I know. Sorry. But you could please just think of something different that you can try just today. Just try to do something different today, but don't beat yourself up. Even if that's what you try not to do today, just try, don't beat yourself up. Because I remember all that kind of hating myself and criticising and everything. Nothing I did was right. Nothing. It just felt like I completely fucked up everything. And, you know, but it was the way that I was seeing it. It was the way that I saw that. And I see things totally different now. And I would love to kind of like be able to help you and change how you see yourself. Because I bet you the people around you, the people that love you and care for you, see you in a totally different way. But you know what? It doesn't matter how other people see you, because you have to believe it. And that is the problem, isn't it? It's because people can tell us, yeah, but you're this and you're but that and you're but, you know. It's like we have a force field around us, you know, and they say the words, but they bounce off. They don't actually, they don't penetrate us. We can't feel that. And that's what needs to happen. We need to feel those words. We need to believe in that. And for me, it was about doing the EFT to change my beliefs about myself, change my mindset, you know, deal with the stuff that I was beating myself up about, so that I could see that actually I did have the choice. I had the choice of holding on to that stuff and letting it define me and letting it ruin the rest of my life. Or I had the choice of letting it, working on it and letting it go. And again, I know it's not easy. You know, the stuff, you know, from that you don't want to face. You know, that's why we kind of use these behaviours. You know, that's why we try and control through our eating disorder, anorexia. You know, because we're trying to avoid all that crap. But until you try and make peace with your past, you know, and you let go of that kind of self-hate and all those kind of nasty things that you think about yourself, and you know, until you do that, nothing's really going to change, you know. And you might kind of try something else, you know, you might be able to kind of deal with it better on certain days, you know, than you might have before, you know. But it's only going to last so long. It might only bring you temporary relief. And as I said, you know, I went from anorexia to bulimia. Then I drank far too much, you know, I smoked for a while. You know, it's like I still needed something in order to help me deal with my emotions, how I felt about myself, you know. And so, you know, EFT was the key for me, and it might not be the key for you, and I totally get that and I totally respect that. But there will be someone, you know, if it's not me, if it's not EFT, there will be somebody out there that, you know, can help you, that you do feel safe with, you do sort of like trust more than others, you know, and there will be a strategy, a technique, whether it's not EFT or it's something else. You know, there will be something out there, and it's, you know, it might be a case of just trying out different options, and that's fine. And like I said, don't beat yourself up about them if it doesn't work for you, because it's okay. You're just experimenting, you're researching your options, and that's a positive thing. Macy, hi. I've been fighting my past for about 7 years now, and I still haven't found peace. Yeah, exactly. But it's about trying to find the person and the technique or the tool, or, you know, the you know, whether it's counselling, whether it's psychotherapy, whether it's kind of CBT or mindfulness, or there's DBT now, lots of different things. You know, and it's about trying to find different things that might work for you. So yeah, so just, Macy, don't give up. You know, 7 years, I know it feels like a long time, but you know, 7 years out of the course of a lifetime, you know, you have the choice. You have the choice of giving up the fight and just accepting that this is where you're going to be for the rest of your life, And I did get that, I did make that decision, and then it wasn't a good one, let me tell you. But you have that choice, or you can have the choice to not lie down, not let it beat you, and, you know, keep looking, and just take, like I always say, just take gentle steps. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, don't think of it as like, oh, I need to, you know, that didn't work out, and I'll try this once, and that didn't work out, so I'm going to give up. You know, just kind of like give yourself chance. You know, it takes a while to kind of build up that trust, build up that rapport with somebody, you know, connect with somebody, and connect with what, you know, what the strategy, what the tool is that you're working with. So it's not going to be overnight. You know, unfortunately, I always say we have no magic wands, but you need to kind of play your part in it too, and you need to kind of want this. And it's not as easy, like, don't get me wrong, it's not as easy as kind of making the decision to want to change and then, you know, kind of going for it. But that needs to be the starting point. And you need to want it a lot. And, you know, a lot of these things take a while. It's like my clients, you know, I teach them the EFT, but they have to kind of like be committed to, you know, doing the EFT every day. And that, again, is a choice that my clients have to make. And, you know, if they choose that they don't want to do the tapping that day, then that's okay. But they're not going to see the changes. And so you have to kind of continually make that choice that you want things to change. You know, and it does feel like a big battle, you know, a big fight on your hands. But believe me, you can win it. You know, you really can win it. You can, you know, and it feels like a battle initially, you know, and depending on your kind of motivation and how, you know, and everything, it will take as much time as it needs to take. And some people are, you know, they're like, right, let's go for this, and they're, you know, they treat it like an assignment that they want to get like an A star in 100%, and you know, and they do well at this. But again, it's, you know, it has to happen at the time when you're ready for it to happen. And timing is a massive thing. You know, sometimes we're just not ready, and so it doesn't matter, you know, kind of like what we try and stuff. If we have that resistance, if we have that barrier up, you know, then it's a lot more difficult. But I'm not saying that it can't be, you know, I've worked with people on their barriers and their blocks, and, you know, we've got rid of them. But if you're not willing to take that first step, it's very difficult in order to, you know, in order to help you. You know, because unfortunately nobody can fix you. It needs to come from you. You need to accept the help that's being offered. So, you know, I wish, you know, for all of you, I wish you all the very best, and you know, in whatever kind of like routes or paths you choose to take. But please don't give up. Keep trying. Keep going with it. And you will get there. You will get there. So I'm going to leave it there now. If you have any further questions or comments or anything like that, please just drop them in the thread. And it's lovely and sunny here today, so I hope you've got sunshine wherever you are, because it does make all the difference. But wishing you lots and lots of love, and you know, just keep going. And as I said about in the first bit, if you have any ideas for a challenge, then do let me know, and give me any comments or feedback on, you know, if you want to email me any struggles that you're facing, and I'll put them into either a few tapping scripts or, you know, tapping sessions, or you know, one big one, then I'm quite happy to do that. But have a think about what would help you right now, and let me know. Okay, take care, lots of love, bye.